Didn't that look fun? Swimming is fun, but having fun will be the least of your worries if you can't swim. According to the Center for Disease Control of 2012, drowning is the second leading cause of unintentional deaths for children under the age of 14, and the fifth leading cause of death for all children of all ages. 1 in 5 people who drowned are under the age of 14. I am here today to convince you that swimming is vital. Swimming must be taught to children and has many benefits throughout a child and adult's life. Swimming does not completely alleviate drowning, but it does help diminish drowning substantially. Swimming pools are the most common places that children die under the age of 5. Adults and older children typically drown in large bodies of water. According to the CDC, there are many different ways that different measures we can do to keep from drowning. One of them is to take basic swim lessons. The other is to be sure there is a fence around a pool or pool covers. Also, learning CPR and wearing life jackets in boats will help diminish drowning substantially. Pool covers are not all created equal. I'm sure everyone's seen a pool cover and thinks a child will be safe around a pool, but actually that can be really deceiving. Pool covers are typically meant to keep debris out of pool or to heat a pool. And sometimes when parents don't know, they let a child go in the back and play in the backyard. The child ends up falling through the pool cover and drowning because they're trapped. So watch your research on pool covers. So the best way, obviously, to teach children is to keep them from drowning is to teach them. But if we want to use different ways of helping them, do your research and make sure that what you have is going to work. According to the National Safety Council, it reports that over 7,000 drownings happen each year. More than 80% of drownings happen in pools or spas, and over 5,000 near drownings happen each year, with 20% of those drownings result in disability or long-term mental disability. In my family, I have a story to tell that will kind of help illustrate how it can affect families. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law were in the front cleaning out their car, and my nephew was up helping them. When they noticed that my nephew wasn't there, they ran through the house and into the backyard, and they found my nephew at the bottom of the pool. They dived in, grabbed him, reached him, pulled him out, and did CPR, while my mother-in-law called the paramedics. Later, when I was watching the clip, the firefighter was very emotional about my nephew, and I kind of wondered why, because I knew he hadn't died. The firefighter was worried that my nephew would seriously sustain long-term effects from the near drowning. Luckily, my nephew made a full recovery, but it did teach our family a huge lesson. My mother-in-law was always vigilant to keep her back door shut leading to the pool. But because someone forgot to lock that top lock, my little nephew was able to figure out how to open the locks at the bottom and get out. After that happened, my mother-in-law had a very hard time recovering from it. And she decided she just wanted to get rid of the pool. She wanted to drain it and throw dirt in it and just call it a day, just be done with it. After talking to my father-in-law about it, he reminded her it wasn't the pool that almost drowned my nephew. It was the fact that my nephew could not swim. After that, we made a commitment in our family to teach small children and adults to swim. And each of the grandchildren and children did learn to swim. When you think about a child swimming, you usually think about a kid who's maybe 2, 3, 4, or 5, but really any child that's mobile should learn to swim. I'm going to show a clip for you to illustrate what I mean by this. Wasn't that amazing? This clip shows that even the smallest child, fully clothed, can survive when they fall in water. This child was taught that when he fell in the water, he would kick his legs up to the top and he would cry until a parent or a responsible adult could come and get him. This video actually was about 20 minutes of him in the water. I didn't have time to show that today, But it does illustrate that if you teach your children to swim, even small children that are mobile, they can survive. And it's pretty miraculous. Another statistic from the National Safety Council reports that over 70,000 drownings happen each year. Over 90% of parents who lose a child end up divorcing. That is a scary statistic. And I knew a family that this happened to growing up. A lot of times, bitterness ensues because blame is placed and families are destroyed. The best way to alleviate these issues is just to teach your kid to swim, to make sure they're empowered, your whole family's empowered, and that you each know how to swim. My sons are lifeguards, and each day they go to the pool with the idea of helping families make sure that their children are safe. And my kids do a great job. But they've reminded me that can't be their job solely. And sometimes they get annoyed and frustrated with parents who expect them to always be watching their child. There is way too many kids in a public pool, at a lake or an ocean that has lifeguard staff to be able to completely be responsible for your child. It is your job to be responsible for your child and to always watch them around water. Swimming empowers children and it empowers adults. We are surrounded by water in our world, and we cannot pretend that our kids or ourselves will not be faced with a situation that could become fatal if we do not know how to swim. If you or your child, your grandchild, your neighbor, anyone you know, anyone you love does not know how to swim, I encourage you today to look on the internet, to find resources in your area that can help you, because they do exist. So I hope today you learned something from my video, and I hope it has encouraged you and given you some tools and will help you feel like you can be empowered to help your child and yourself learn how to swim.